Welcome to How to Become a Production SQL Database Administrator. My name is Raphael. In the next course I'll be creating after this one, it's called the SQL Server Reporting System, or SQL Administration SSRS. This again is going to be a course that is designed how the SQL Database Administrator utilizes the reporting system to generate reports. And these reports obviously are designed for the upper management, the CEOs, the CFOs, and obviously the end users. And I'll be doing a tremendous amount of videos on starting how to set up SSRS and navigating through the GUI, and then we'll be creating reports, and I'll be going step by step how to do that. So that's going to be our next course, and I'll be talking about it more soon. In this particular video, though, I want to address a couple of things here. And that is that if you've got to this part, then obviously you're looking at SQL part 3. And when you do complete it, the question becomes, what now? So SQL Server Administration Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 completed. And after you've completed that, the question becomes, what do you do with all that information? So the following videos will be given out free to those who have taken SQL Administration Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And the videos that I'm going to be creating in the next course before even I do SSRS is just to help the students who have taken SQL Administration Part 1, 2, and 3. And that is things to do here. But before I do that, just quickly look at this disclaimer. And there's just an impersonal disclaimer, but let me read it. While I'm trying to help those students that have taken the courses above, the following advice, suggestion, and recommendations in no way constitute that using and learning from my courses will promise a job. This is simply my recommendation from my experience, what I think you should do next to prepare for an SQL DBA job. Thanks. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of students have asked me, hey, I'm learning this tremendous amount of information in SQL Server Part 1, Part 2, and obviously when you've completed Part 3, you'll be versed in knowing how to administer the SQL environment pretty well. And these videos are certainly helping. And there are some students are a little nervous about, well, are they going to expect me to know all this? And do I need to remember all this? And this is what I'm going to be addressing in these next few videos that I'm going to do. So the videos that I'm going to be addressing is how to prepare your resume, and I'm going to be giving you mine as an example. We're going to look at some of the websites that you should place your resume so you get a little more activity. I'm going to be talking about a video with interview questions and be prepared. And I'll write out maybe 10, 20, or 30 questions that you need to kind of understand and be ready for. And I'll go into the process of interview process of do's and don'ts. We'll show you how to work as an intern or as a volunteer to get that experience. And obviously, this is going to be important because you certainly need some experience to get a DBA job. And then this is one of the most important ones that most students have asked. And that is what to expect on your first day getting over the nervousness. I know this can be, when you've learned all this can be overwhelming and daunting. And I want to address to you and calm your fears what you'll be probably doing the first day. And then I'll be addressing in a video what you won't be doing the first day of employment or first year. And that all again depends on your environment. And then I will have a video saying, continue learning and configuring on test servers. That's one of the most important things you can do while you're waiting for a job, is to continue learning and redoing everything I've taught you and even continue with more. So I'm going to have these few videos here, maybe an hour or dedicated to things to do and get you ready for once you've completed Part 3. Part 3 is an exciting HA Solutions compilation of videos. And as I said, by the time you completed that, you'll probably know a good 90% of what SQL administration is. And once you've completed all 3 courses and T-SQL, which I haven't included here, but that certainly is a critical thing to know, then you and I will be able to discuss anything regarding SQL administration. You'll be able to go into meetings with where SQL Server Administration is talked about, and you'll have a clear understanding of what they're saying, so you'll be able to participate. So what I've taught you from Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 when you complete this is, as I said, fundamentally 90% of what you need to know. Now, I'm saying 90% and not 100% because obviously I've left out a couple of things that are a little more advanced stuff that necessarily you won't be doing. But again, this is still regarded as a beginning to intermediate level class. So this is something that I'm going to prepare for my students that have taken Part 1, Part 3, 3. There'll be a few videos. I don't know how many. I haven't decided yet, but maybe an hour or less. And I'll be providing them free, providing you've taken part 1, part 2, and part 3. So that's what I'll be doing. So I'm looking forward to that again. And I think this will really help the student get a grasp of where they are and what they need to do. And as I said, and the reason I'm doing this because I remember, even though when I was versed, and I had about a year and a half under my belt as a DBA, working for a very, very small company. When I started working for a slightly larger company, I was a little nervous as to what I'm going to do and, what kind of applications they're going to ask me to look at. And it wasn't until I sat down in front of the table in front of my desk and started looking at that wonderful interface called SQL Imagine Studio that I realized, it looks exactly like what I've been taught and doing all along. So that's what I'm going to go over there, and this is going to be important for you as a student, I hope. So I hope you get the benefit of that. And as I said, I'll be creating that in conjunction with this. So the next course is going to be SSRS, Reporting Systems, how I utilize that as a database administrator to my advantage and to users' advantages. And then this one I'll be creating at the same time. And then once I finish this one, I'll be sending this out free to everyone who certainly wants this. So I'll just leave it there, and we'll continue with SSRS, which is going to be the next course. And I hope you enjoy part 3. This is how to become a production SQL database administrator. My name is Raphael. See you in the next video.